Welcome to the Late Night Gamer. Today we'll look at Cuba Libre, a game by Volko Runke and Jeff Grossman, published by GMT Games in 2013. It's a game in the series they have called the Coin series. This is volume 2. And well, let's just open a box and see what's inside. Okay, so let's set up the game. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take these cards and give them a good shuffle. In the deck there are 4 of these propaganda cards, and they basically say that you need to check for victory. So you will take these propaganda cards and put one in each, well, put them aside like this, and then you take the other cards and you will, after a quick shuffle, you will distribute them into 4 equal stacks, like that. So in each stack you will have a certain number of event cards and also one of these propaganda cards. So what I like to do then is I take the propaganda card and just put it right in the middle, and then I will shuffle the deck. The government forces, they go in the blue box. These are the 26th of July, and it's very nice because it says here right in the box how many there are supposed to be there, so you can count very quickly if you lost a piece or something. So these green guys are the mob or the syndicate. These are another guerrilla called the Directorio, and they were kind of a student faction, if I'm understanding it correctly, opposing Castro and also the government. So let's see how that plays out. There should be 15 of these guys. For the government, the cubes here are, and they are referred to as cubes in the rules, they are troops and police. Troops are the dark blue one and the police are the light blue one. So police and troops, and these are bases. These are guerrillas. These cylindrical pieces here are guerrillas. They can be either hidden underground or exposed active, like this. So that matters for gameplay. So the syndicate has just 6 guerrillas, but they have a lot of bases. Actually their bases are not normal bases, they are casinos where they can make money. So their gameplay is centered around money for the most part, and number of casinos. Also the yellow ones and the red ones here have the same setup. Each have 4 bases and 15 guerrillas. On the map, when you do the setup, it's really neat because it's printed right on the map how many of the pieces should be in this area at startup. So for instance here in Pinar del Rio, I'm sorry for my Spanish, it should be 1 casino, and that casino should be open. So you take 1 casino and you take it from the lowest number here, so that you can just see very easily with a glance how many casinos are out there. So take away 1, put it there. La Habana should have 1 open casino and 1 underground red guerrilla, and so forth, and then you just go through it. So the forces are now out, and we need also something else. There are some tokens that we need. I keep my tokens in a small box like this. First we need 4 cash markers in the holding box. There's also some pieces here indicating control over a territory. Now you have control in a territory if you have more pieces than all the other factions together. So in Pinar del Rio, obviously this is syndicate controlled, and it's also printed here, very small, you probably can't see it, but it's printed here, so the syndicate controls this region. La Habana, there's one of each, so there's no control there, that's a neutral, or it's uncontrolled. Havana, you can see very easily that the government has control in Havana, and this will shift throughout the game. In addition to control, this is uncontrolled, and there's also some markers indicating what kind of support the government has. So we'll start out here. Oh, there's a very small print, but it says active support. Let me put on active support there. Now the support will shift from active to passive to neutral to passive opposition, and finally active opposition. So this is the axis of support, and it will shift in each region throughout the game. The government wants support, and the Castro, the 26th of July, wants opposition. So they will act directly against each other. So we're going to start with active support. Also here is active support, this is passive. Oh, I need more markers. Okay. Each faction has a different set of win condition, which is really, really nice, because when you play the government, you will strive to get support, and when you play the 26th of July, you will strive to get opposition, and when you play the Directorio, you will strive to get their win conditions, which is again different from the syndicate one. So that's really interesting. These are the win conditions for the government. This is total support. And the board here says, and also the box here says, that you will win if you have more than 18 total support and all the cities are in active support. That means that all the cities here need to have an active support marker. This one has a passive, this one is neutral, this one is active. And your total support needs to be above 19, and that's also, it needs to be above 18, and it's marked here, support question mark. So when you're able to push your support marker up here, you may win as the government. So, so how do you count support? Well, the support is the population level times the support. So in Pinar del Rio, you have an active support, and it says times 2. So you will have the population of this region times 2. This will give you 2 in support. Havana has a population of 1, and you have a passive support here, which is a times 1, so you count this 1 time. Support from Havana is 1, that's 3 together, and then you count up all the regions and the cities. The regions are all just 1 and 2s in population, except Havana, which is 6, making Havana extremely important for the government to keep active support, because once it shifts down, you lose 6 support, which is a blow, basically. You will start with total support is 16, so you put your marker on 16. Now you can count it up, it will be 16, 2, 3, 12, that's 15, and you will have this one as 16. Oops. So you can always backtrack. If you bumped this one, you can always backtrack and find out what it should be. The 26th of July, they will have their win conditions are opposition, and that will be counted exactly the same way, only it's opposition. So 1 from this region, which is passive, and 2 from this region, which has a population of 1, and times 2. But you'll also add on the number of bases. So they will actually now start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they will start at 7. Now where they are able to push this marker up to above 15, that is to 16, they may win. Then you check for victory. or rather they have to have it above this when the victory check comes up. The Directorio, they don't care about opposition or support, they just care about the provinces they control and the population there. So whether the population in this area really is supportive to the government or the 26th of July, it doesn't matter as long as they have guerrillas and control. So they will count the number of population in provinces they control, and you can see here that they control Camagüey, so they will have 1, and that's all they have for starters when you start. And you also count the number of bases they have, but they have none, so they start at 1, like that. Okay, so the last faction is the Syndicate, and they only care about casinos, open casinos, and they need more than 8 open casinos, or more than 7, that's 8, to win. And also they need resources, money, above 30, so 31 money, 8 casinos, that's a win. They start with 3 open casinos. Okay. So, and as I said, you can always track these. These are easy trackable, so you don't really get lost. But you also need the resources. Okay, so the last thing, first of all, the last thing you need to put on is the aid, and this is the money that you will get from US. And the aid starts at 15, it's marked, well, no, it's not really marked, but you start at 15 in aid. So the government will get it. So in addition, you start with certain number of resources. Now the government starts with 15, that's here. Syndicate also starts with 15. The 26th of July starts with 10. And the Directorio starts with only 5. So, okay, that takes care of setup.